Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be 12 Strong, number 2 would be Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, number 3 would be The Post, number 4 would be The Commuter, and number 5 would be Den of Thieves. And this weekend I've got all of my predictions wrong, not a single one right. Oh my god, let's go over what actually happened at the top 10 this weekend. Number 1 was once again Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I thought for sure maybe it would get below the number 1 spot finally, but it was not. It was able to hold on for at least this last weekend, making $20 million, adding to a domestic total of $316 million, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at $767 million. I thought for sure since last weekend it had like a $27 million weekend total that it would go below the 20 million margin, but it didn't. It was only able to drop about like $7 million, which, you know, I'm happy for it, but it's just something that really surprised me. My number 1 prediction, however, did almost get a little bit close, coming in at number 2, 12 Strong, making $16 million on a budget of $35 million. So it needs to technically get around $70 million, and maybe with the combined domestic total and a worldwide, it'll be able to get there. There isn't any worldwide numbers as of yet, though, and I don't know if this is going to be a financial powerhouse overseas. I think it's mainly just going to do better domestically. I'm hoping that this movie can get its budget back, though, because I would like to see the director at least go on to do other projects. As much as I wasn't a huge fan of this movie, I do see potential in the director as far as the talent he offered on screen. Number 3 was Den of Thieves, which I thought for sure was not going to open as well as it did, but it actually did, making about $15 million, and this is only on a budget of $30 million. So this movie also has a chance of getting its doubled budget back as well if you want to combine a domestic and worldwide total eventually. That's honestly very impressive. This movie hasn't gotten the best reviews so far, but nothing terrible, but just not the best. So I was a little shocked to see it actually open this much. I didn't think there'd be about $15 million worth of people interested. Honestly, I didn't even know this movie was coming out until like January 1st when I was just looking at the schedule. So, but good for this movie though. Moving on to number 4, which was The Post, making $12 million, adding to a domestic total of $45 million, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at $55 million. So it got $5 million over its budget, but it still needs to double that and get to about $100 million. Now that you have some worldwide numbers coming in, and since it's still doing pretty good here domestically, I think this movie will actually get to that number very soon. Number 5 is The Greatest Showman, still here, oh my god, making $11 million, adding to a domestic total of $113 million, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at $231 million, which is very good. This movie is continuing to surprise me as far as its staying power, because I thought last weekend it would for sure leave the top 5, but it's still here. It's sitting at number 5, and next weekend it'll probably be gone. But it just goes to show you that some movies can surprise you, especially for this one with me, because I thought it would have been gone like a long time ago, but it's still here. Now moving on to number 6, which is Paddington 2, making $8 million, adding to a domestic total of $25 million, and on the worldwide chart it is sitting at 172. So it is almost close to about quadrupling its $50 million budget worldwide if it's able to get to $200 million. I mean, maybe we'll see next weekend if it's able to do that. That's very good for Paddington 2. I'm happy for this movie, even though I haven't seen it yet. The reviews have been very delightful. You know, there hasn't been a single negative one yet. That's why it still has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and of course that glowing praise is getting more people into the theaters, I'm thinking. So, good for Paddington. Moving on to number 7, which was The Commuter, making $6.6 million, adding to a domestic total of $25 million. And on the worldwide chart, it was actually able to get to $36 million, which is $6 million over its $30 million budget. Will it be able to get to $60 million worldwide? Only time will tell. If it's here next weekend, maybe we'll find out or get a closer estimation on if it will or not. But let's move right along to number 8, which is Star Wars The Last Jedi, making $6.5 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $604 million. It was able to do that. Congratulations, Star Wars. And on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $1.296 billion. And this is the highest grossing, officially, the highest grossing film film worldwide and domestically for 2017, and I could not be happier with this. Did I love other movies more than Star Wars The Last Jedi? Sure, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I thought The Last Jedi was an excellent film. No matter what anyone says, I'm sticking with my own opinions on it, and I thought it was excellent. I'm glad it's making this much money. Moving along to number 9, which is Insidious: The Last Key, making $5 million, adding to a domestic total of $58 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $126 million, which is pretty good. I still have nothing to add on this film, though, because I haven't seen it yet. I do want to note that it took about only 3 weeks for it to almost leave the top 10. It's pretty much gone next weekend, so hey, at least it was here for a little bit and made some money. Now finally closing it out, a movie that I've never heard of until right now, and I'm being dead serious about this, Forever My Girl, making $4 million, and it is on a budget of $3.5 million, so not bad, I guess, for a movie I've never heard of. Honestly, I have nothing to add on that because I did not find out that that was an actual movie until today. But now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Now I'm going to predict that number 1 will be Maze Runner: The Death Cure. Even though there was a little bit of a dissent between the opening weekends of the first Maze Runner and Scorch Trials, I still think there is that fan base that is willing to go see this film, especially because Jumanji, which I'm going to predict for number 2, I think it is going to begin just a little bit of a descent, at least enough to have Maze Runner take number 1. Then number 3, 12 Strong, number 4, Den of Thieves, and number 5, The Post. I don't think Hostiles is going to make it because barely anyone has heard of it, I'm thinking. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.